we are here to cover for Professor Konstantin Korotkov. I mean, he has been my mentor and very influential in my work. And he always thought about how we can build a non-human intelligence contact machine, like for example, right? I mean, how we can measure these things, how we can measure distance healing. For example, we talk about distance healing, we talk about psychedelics, all these things. With conventional science, it's very hard to do. I have psychology background, mathematics background, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, by using traditional statistics, it's very hard to measure this, phenomenon. So he thought about using the device as a research tool that will help therapists and psychologists into new psychologists to provide evidence that things actually work. Because using traditional psychology is very difficult. So this presentation is about that, right? I mean, obviously, this technology is not new, something that has been around for a long time. He's the inventor of the BioWell device, but the technology itself has been running since the 70s. There's a lot of information on the internet, a lot of papers being published. But this particular presentation is about how do you measure distance effects, intentionality, for example. How do you measure meditation? How do you measure emotions? Talking about emotions. In the biofield, there is a lot of information. You have emotions of people, you have intentions of people, you have thoughts of people there, and as a group, as a collective, we can change these energies, and they can be measured. So I have a few cases, for example, when it comes to spirituality. Can we measure connection to God, for example? Can we measure connection to something higher than just human? This is something that Dr. Korotkov has been experienced for a long time. So we're going to talk a little about that, about his work. This is a nice picture of him. These are his devices, BioWell technology. In particular, we're going to focus on the antenna, what he calls Sputnik. Then he uses a water measurement device to measure the water's energy. And then he has two types of fingertips devices. One is personal, the small one, and the other one is for more scientific research purposes. So what exactly is this type of technology? This type of technology is based on what we call the bioenergy field that can be captured by taking a picture of your fingertips. So all we're getting is basically a measurement of the energy glow. We get this energy that is glowing, that is captured with intensity of the pixels and the area. So we are measuring area, we measure the intensity, and this can be translated by energy by using some empirical coefficient factors, and that will help us to identify the joules of energy. The model is based on the principle that the quantum system provides the energy. Reality is molded by our consciousness and is initiated by intention. Intention is the main driver of reality and is modulated by emotion and mental energy. Okay? That sounds a little bit too spooky, probably, but this can be measured and eventually put in more scientific terms, which is something that we're working on. So how we can translate this more into, quantum physics and so on. But the principle is there. So this is the essence of the device. It's a device that basically captures what we call a gas discharge. You basically put your fingertip. There's a differential of potential between your fingertip due to the dielectric plate. So when you put your finger, automatically there's a discharge of energy that is being photographed. And this is basically what we use to measure energy. So what kind of application has in the particular research of healing, okay? So in his work, when he takes a picture of a healthy person, this is how it looks like, you know? Basically, you see energy that has no gaps, that is pretty much harmonic, and it doesn't have imbalances when it comes to different views of the same energy. You see, this is the left, the front, and the right, right? So this is the picture of a healthy person. So how an unhealthy person looks like with something like this. After stress, for example, you might find some gaps in the energy, right, field, and you also might find that the energy is not symmetric, so it's unbalanced. Okay, so what we're measuring here is energy levels and symmetry. You know, how balanced is your field. In this case, it's 85%. Ideally, we'll want to have something higher than that to say that your system is balanced. So this is the typical scenario of healing. You know, so he will say, okay, a healer will say, I will perform energy healing in a patient. How can I prove that it's actually doing something? So it will take a measurement before somebody and then after, and then that will help, you know, to provide evidence that the healing is doing something to the energy field of the person. So he has few cases. This is with Dr. Eric Perlt. He has this technique, reconnective healing technique, and he measure the before and after, so that you can see there the effect of the healing to provide some evidence that there was something going on after the healer or therapist performed his therapy. This is something I perform myself. I mean, myself, I'm also interested in this for therapies. In Mexico, I went there and I was a participant of we call psychedelic therapy, psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. And I was actually interested to see the increase of energy. You know, this was with psychedelics. I was able to see an increase of energy after the therapy. And after the therapy was finished, I also measured the balance. The last three columns are measuring the balance. You can see there's an increase of balance. You know, I was already balanced. I was already 94%, but a little bit higher after the therapy. So they give me an indication that maybe it can be used also for psychedelic-assisted therapy. Distance healing, the same clinic was performing something called SAMA. I think it's from Spain, so probably some people here know about this technique. So I was also performing experiments with this particular technique. This is a distance healing technique. So what I did is I measured energy on myself before and after the therapy, and I was able to see the increase of energy as well. And also the increase of balance. See, I was 92.50, and after that was 96, I think. I cannot see from here, but something higher than the 96 or 95. Okay, so another device that he has is the Sputnik device. This Sputnik device it captures energy. Obviously, the energy can come from different sources, can be from magnetic fields, different environmental factors, but the main factor is people. You know, there is research that people does have an influence in the energy fields, especially when you have lots of people, a group of people. So he performed some measurements with three different holistic healers. Joe Dispenza, I don't think he needs an introduction. Christos Dosinakis and Victor Philippi. And he measured, right, stress. This is stress levels. He was able to identify reduction of stress after some workshops. And energy increase. So normally, as stress reduces, energy increases. You know, so they have an opposite direction effect. He performed also a study for Dr. Joe Dispenza over 4 days to see the effect, the long-term effect of workshops, and he was able to see that in the long term there was also an increase of energy. This is meditation effect. This is about 80 minutes before meditation, and about I think it's about 40, it's 130, 50 minutes after meditation. So he was able also to measure increase of energy in a group meditation conducted by Victor Filippi. This is something that I did myself. I'm into human-initiated, non-intelligent, or sorry, what's the term? Non-human intelligent contact. So I participated in an event. It's called Contact in the Desert in 2023. Why there? Because people that was there actually were into this kind of experiences. So there was a room there about 35 people. I have my own meditation. The idea was to change the biofield. How I did this is the meditation had ways to change the emotional state of the participants, also use intentionality, use different techniques to change the energy. And this was measured by using the same device. And as I was able to see that right after we started the meditation, well, this case was more like a non-human intelligence initiated contact, we start seeing the increase of energy. Okay? So this has potential for this kind of research. I mean, in that particular conference, a lot of people talk about using intentionalities to start contacts with non-human intelligent beings. So there, it was a perfect occasion for me to experiment with this. So the same view, but this is more of by using graphs, so you can see the energy change effect after we started the experiment. I'm also into spirituality, so the question is, can we measure spiritual effects in people? So in this case, I was able to measure that. I had a group of people, we meditated. The intention was to connect with God, we connect with divinity. So people, after expressing this intention to connect to divinity, actually was able to increase the energy as well. So the intentions are quite measurable. That's what I learned from these experiments. Either spirituality, either healing, or either non-human intelligent contacts. Doesn't matter. Your intentions are captured with the technology. He performed another experiment in 2016. Sorry, how much time we have? Sorry. Okay, so yes, that time. Okay, so the experiment in 2016 in St. Petersburg, it was about intentionality. So he had 11 people in different locations: Moscow, Penza, and Belgorod, sending intentions from 11 to 11:30 a.m. He had 2 BioWell devices located in parallel from 8:40 to 6 p.m. And there were people there present as well from 9:40 to 6 p.m. And he measured, energy. So contrary to what we expected, the actually energy drop, the area drop, right? So intentions seem to have a different effect on energy. So that's something that he measured. So intentionalities, emotions, and thoughts have different effects on energy, something that needs to be researched still. And finally, the model, right? So how do we can explain this in more scientific terms? I came with this model as an electrical engineer. So, okay, let's see if we can come with a model that can help me to explain how consciousness can have an effect on energy. So in this model, we have a circuit, very basic circuit, and the ZAW represents pretty much an impedance that is based on frequency. So if we assume that the energy has a frequency, and the frequency can be changed with intentions and emotions and thoughts, this frequency has an effect on the device. How is this? So the impedance basically decreases or increases based on the frequency of the energy. In this case, it looks like this, right? So when the frequency increases, the impedance goes very low. That will explain a raise of energy, you know. And when the frequency is very low, the impedance goes higher. Therefore, that will explain the lower energy. So just an explanation more from a rational perspective, to give a bit of a scientific explanation to this. And finally, a bit of the experiments he has done on energy of water, in particular measurements of intention. Right, so this is the results of intentional influence of a Russian healer, Shomak. I don't know if you know him. And then I have another experiment from Lynn McTaggart. There's a link there for the full experiment protocol where she used also the same technology to capture intentions, and she also measured the before-after, showing a significant increase of energy after intentions were set to the water. So conclusions, this technology seems to be relevant for conscious research, especially for unconventional research where we don't have anything else. Most of the paranormal or most of this type of research rely on a statistical analysis, and that seems to be very difficult to use where things cannot be proved this way. So this gives the door for researchers to provide evidence of effects on spirituality, distance healing, etc., etc. However, it misses the theoretical component. I think a lot of this work is mainly empirical, so we need to work more on the theories, and we need to link this to quantum mechanics, electromagnetic theory, DNA theory, so it can have more of a theoretical foundation, so it can become more accepted in the academic community. So thank you very much. That's all I have for today. I'm open for questions now.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for the talk very much. I come from a professional acting background, and my question is, when we're acting, very often when we're acting badly, other people see it, right? Because we think that we might have an objective in a scene or in a play, but actually we don't. So the question is rather about intention. How did you make sure that the intention, when you were measuring the intention or the energy when people were setting the intention, that the intention was there?
I think that's actually a good experiment. Yes, you have people that send you like bad vibes, right? Like bad energy. Can we measure that? Probably we can. I will expect that will have some patterns, but I have never done that. But I can see the potential effect on the energy for sure. If somebody gives you sends you like a bad energy, to say, right, the bad intentions, you should be able to sense that. But I don't know any article or any research that has been done about it. But something to think about it for sure. It should be measurable.
Any other question in the back?
Where does the energy from the body come from?
The energy from the body, according to the Ayurvedic medic, comes from the earth. That's the main source of energy. So it comes from there. And and once you die, you know, it goes just down. Right? That's what we measure.
You mentioned that every being puts out electrons.
Sorry?
You had mentioned that, not here, but that every being puts out electrons.
Yes.
And that measures those electrons. And how does it measure them?
I mean, the
So
biofield
the
is...
question is, how does it measure electrons? I'm not sure people in the back.
Well, the bias really, what it measures is photons, okay? And photons, you know, are particles that can be measured because it's light. So you take a picture and you capture the effect. That's how the technology works. It's a biophotonic measurement device.